So there's this thing that people do called repurposing. You just take something that's no longer any good for its design purpose and you turn it into something else. Palletwood. The shitty, broken pine variety. Everybody knows that this stuff is destined for the fire or landfill once it's been across the country or around the world a few times and broken like this by novice fork drivers. So it's trash unless somebody takes the time to do this to the pallet. Now these, slightly less common, Tassie hardwood, which was milled probably 40 or 50 years ago, destined to be headboards of handmade apple packing boxes. Nobody packs apples that way anymore, so here's what's been happening to these boards. Yeah, fire starting sticks. So, after dismantling, you get boards. Rough boards, but still boards. And they're only rough until you do this to them. Smooth. Smooth on the faces anyway. Here's a bit of manual rounding of the corners. And then a bit of a preview of the pattern that I'll be aiming for at the end of all this. Now back to these apple box headboards. They're nowhere near the dimensions that they need to be, as in they're just too fat. So lots and lots and lots of thicknessing so that they can work into the pattern like this. Off camera, I did my glue ups and I ended up with 2 big slabs which I could still run through the thicknesser just to get rid of the excess glue nice and easily. I'm also thicknessing what will become the legs of the table. Now this is my first ever crack at cross halving joints with the assistance of my table saw. Yes, I did say first attempt. Now to do that all over again and prove it wasn't a fluke the first time. Yeah! That's right, the table is almost no longer legless. The slab needed some tidying up. The legs needed to be glued. And then the edges needed just a little bit of rounding off. Yeah, okay, more than just a little bit. There's quite a bit of rounding off going on here. Done. You might notice that I haven't sped this part of the video up at all. And that's because saws are dangerous. Okay? This, however, zero danger. Well, I mean, basically zero. And now this thing can finally look like a table for the first time. Even if it still has a clamp on the legs because glue. Little bit of branding and we're almost done with this project. Still naked, but almost finished. That's better. Well, I mean, getting better. Who doesn't love a bit of halfway footage? I mean, how damn cool is that? Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, this is obviously cooler than it was just before, but I mean, before was partway through and it wasn't finished, and so, yeah, this is just cooler. Damn! I'm just gonna leave a bit of vision of this here for you to appreciate for a while. Okay, you get it. It is a classy table. But how does it look on an actual deck? Let me show you. And no, it didn't actually get all the way onto the deck by magic. Of course there were stairs. And corners. Call me silly, but this was actually part of the reason why I chose a pine pallet over a hardwood one. Easy. So after all of that work to salvage the timber and make the table, I'm off to the tip with this one. Nah, just kidding. Thanks so much for watching.